topics there is.
Okay.
I am not going to Texas.
Or Mississippi. All right.
Wyclef Jean, BKS1 Radio. Let's go.
This is Essence Atkins, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Hi, this is Melba Moore, and you're listening to BKS1.
Salute.
What's up? It's your girl Monifa, and I'm hanging with BKS1 Radio.
Hi, I'm Iyanla Van Zandt, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
BKS Radio, baby.
Hey, this is Jasmine Guy for BKS1 Radio.
What's going on? This is Lamont Rooker, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Shout out to BKS1, the best kept damn secret in the business.
Hey, what's
Radio.
BKS1. God bless y'all. Go.
All right. Well, hello, and welcome to.
I didn't hear anything.
You didn't hear anything? I didn't hear anything either. But hello and welcome to the Our Show on BKS1 Radio. Y'all, you ever try to sit your phone up and it just ain't doing what you needed to do?
Yeah.
Anyway, hello and welcome to the Our Show on BKS1 Radio. It's your girl Chanel, and of course I am here with the wonderful Miss Queen B, and as our producer Jeff just pointed to, we all need God's grace and mercy. So I guess we decided to represent, and we just didn't even know we were representing today.
Right.
But in the meantime, first and foremost, Queen B, how are you doing?
Well, it's a beautiful week. It's Tuesday. I just said it wasn't going fast enough, so we'll see how the rest of the week pans out. But other than that, good so far.
Okay. All right. Yes, and we are here. We are blessed to still be here. It has been an amazing week for me personally. I will say my son has officially begun the Fire Academy. He started the first part of it in January, and
Nice.
he's on the second part of it in the last week or so. So that's new and that's big. And I got a little appreciation from my job, which felt good, because you don't always receive that. It's not something that everybody always tells you. So I got a little token of appreciation for my job that says I'm awesome for some of the work that I've been doing.
it.
So I got that in the mail yesterday. So that was cool. Outside of that, just out here working, planning, trying to plan these trips, trying to get the family in order, make sure everybody's good. That's it for me though. That's all I got going on in my personal life. Just one of them days where I don't feel like doing nothing. You ever have days where you don't even want to wear clothes?
Yes,
That's me right now. That's me today.
I feel
I
you.
don't want to wear. I don't want to do anything. That's.
I feel you. I do.
Yes. That is the kind of at a point where I'm just like, I didn't want to do too much anything today. But the good thing about the show is today, not the good thing, but today it is just me and you. So for the month of February, we had guests every single week. And now we are starting a new month. We are starting Women's History Month. So the guests that will be on the show this month will be women. And it'll be us just talking about, different issues, different topics, whatever may go on. But I like these shows where it is just me and you, where we could just be candid about a number of different topics. So I'm ready. Are you ready, Queen B?
Yes. The first thing I want to talk about though is the fact that we had a lot of Black excellence yesterday. I'm sorry, not yesterday, but the weekend, where we had a lot of people take home Golden Globes.
Mm-hmm.
Actors and actresses, which was great. So Chadwick Boseman took home Best Actor, and he played in Ma Rainey.
Yes.
with next to Viola Davis, and then you had Daniel Kaluuya. He he played Fred Hampton, Black Messiah. He was playing Fred Hampton from the Black Panthers.
Yeah.
And then you had Andra Day, who I did not see yet. I
haven't seen it either.
Yeah, I did not see, but I heard Billy. You had the U.S. versus Billie Holiday, which to me is probably going to be a great movie. So I can't wait to see that.
Yeah.
I'm just super excited. I did acceptance speech, and it was very tearful, and I can't imagine. The legend that she had, that was her counterpart, losing him. I know that was rough, but legacy, what we preach about all the time, is very important, and he left a huge legacy. But it's good to see the colorfulness, I'll say, in the Golden Globe this year.
Yeah,
it's great. And the nominees. Remember, Andra Day stood next to Viola Davis. She was nominated for her, which to me was exceptional. Had to gain all this weight in order to play, but I think she did it really well. I thought that movie was an excellent movie. And I think all the winners, Daniel Kaluuya, did excellent as well in Black Messiah. So pretty happy about that.
Yeah, no. That is amazing. Wait,
what am I forgetting? I'm forgetting that Jamie Foxx for Soul. He had Best Animated Movie, which he is the first Black man to do that.
Wow.
So he's the first Black man to do that. So that, to me, that was great. But that was it. And I actually liked the movie Soul. It was a cute movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I didn't see it.
It's really, really good.
Animated. Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah, I have to go back and watch that one. But it's great to be acknowledged, and it's great to be finally seen for what, or it never happened. It's just finally the world is beginning to acknowledge it,
right,
and pay attention to it. So I do believe that is a great thing. So it's good. Kudos,
great.
Kudos to everybody, to all the winners. Congrats and kudos to all of the winners.
And just speaking of Women's Month, Janae Aiko is hosting the Grammys, which is a good look.
The pre-Grammy
celebration, or whatever they do, ceremony. Yes. Mm-hmm. So that is I know she's happy. I'm happy for her. I love her.
Yeah. That's a good thing too. I want to get into some of our other topics, because we're going to be talking about the mental and emotional state of Black women. It's Women's History Month, and so there's a lot of content and a lot within that topic, because that topic is vast, and that topic is one that we will be discussing for a time to come. So I wanted to talk about, first and foremost, article today about a mother who ran over her 6-year-old son after trying to abandon him. And then once she knew that he had passed away, she dumped his body in an Ohio river.
But he clinging to the car or something like that?
Yeah.
At first? Yeah.
Yeah. She did not. She tried to abandon him, and he was clinging to the car, and then she ran him over. I guess my question is, from a mother's standpoint, we carry children, most of them, for 9 months. We develop a connection. You nurture them. They are a part of you. They They are in essence, an extension of you. What causes a mother, even if it is external stress and external strain, to get to that point where you can even think of doing that?
It's a huge thing that and a lot of people think that postpartum is just stops at when the child is 1 year old or 2 years old. Or no, that's not true. So there are times when that plays a role, that the postpartum just hormonally and just everything, right? But there are also, of course, just innate things that are within us, the stresses of life, period. And I'm not making excuses for anyone, but I just know that a lot of times when a person is overwhelmed, and I don't know her story, you know what I'm saying? I don't know her story or whatever. And this is, God knows, like, I don't know her story or what, if the child's father or mother or whomever was involved with, the other child's parent, I should say, was involved with the child or whatever. But I know that a lot of times when bills hit and, you don't have enough to feed or clothe or do whatever, you literally start thinking like a lot of crazy thoughts or crazy things, and some people I've seen where they thought like the child would be better off dead. You know what I mean? Either without them or dead. And unfortunately, sometimes I've seen where, people with certain mental illnesses ask for help. They ask for help from people. They really cry out for help. And, a lot of people don't see it. They ignore it. They allow them, just to cope or live or, and basically just live dead. I don't know her situation, but I just know that, chemical imbalances is another thing. Childhood traumas is another thing. There's so many, and some of us cope and some of us can't,
Yeah.
So
that is definitely an extreme case. I mean, of course we hear about it, I watch ID channel and Snapped and all of those things on a regular basis. And you hear about the stresses, you hear about the strain, but to actually go through with completing the job, you have to be in a very, very, very serious headspace. To do something like that. And I understand stresses as a mother. I understand that there's time periods where you're like, I can't take anymore. I don't know what else to do. I'm not sure how to get this done, but that is a lot. That is a lot. That is obviously the most extreme case, is to take your child out of this world.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is. It's sad. It is sad. Parenting is extremely hard. It's not, financial struggles. There's some mental struggles. There's a lot of things. So, I just, honestly, I will say, even just looking in hindsight, to be transparent, not that I was ever in that space or whatever, but I think looking in hindsight, I think that, we need to get counseling anyway. But I think that when you are raising them by yourself, it is really imperative that you seek counseling, that you have a tribe of people or a village of people around you.
That goes back to that age-old question for us as Black people, right? Why are we so against getting help?
Because it was embedded in us for that. It really is a passed down thing. It's almost like the way you cook your turkey is probably how your grandma cooked the turkey and all that. It is definitely just a lineage passing down that don't allow those people to think you crazy. I mean, I was told that when I was a kid. I had counselors when I was a kid. And unfortunately, my mom was told that. And it's like, no, you need help. You need to know how to maneuver through life if you have traumatic experiences. And this is not just for me. This is everyone. we have childhood traumatic experiences.
Childhood trauma, yeah.
A lot of people do. I'm not saying everyone does, because some people's childhood was great, and kudos to them. And you need help to cope. And it's not, oh God, it's not that, sorry about that. It's not that, if you see counseling, you're crazy. It's not that. It actually is the opposite.
Yeah, there's that taboo, but like I said, there's a taboo on that. But when it gets to the point where you literally feel like you need to take someone out, and someone is your child, that needs to come off of this earth, so that one way, shape, or another, them not being here is going to make your life easier. You know, there's certain levels where it's like, okay, I need to get help.
But there's a, I mean, you said you watched the movie Snap. There are times when in the moment or in the mode that
you
parent,
see that.
And that parent, you just you go off and you do whatever. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh shoot, I just did whatever. Now, I don't know if that's her case, but I just know of the cases where for whatever reason, they just feel like they can't breathe. They can't do this. They can't do that. They can't maneuver. And their only way out. And it's sad. It really is a sad thing, because no one should feel like they need to take the life of a child, or just take the life of a child, you know. It shouldn't be that way.
And again, may that baby rest for the mother that did it. Still tragic event, tragic circumstances, tragic decision making, tragic, just all around tragic. So rest in peace to the child. I definitely want to continue on as we talk about the mental and emotional state of women for Women's History Month. And, you know, I'm going to go from, you know, tragic events, you know, in motherhood, but I definitely want to move forward on to another story that I came across. And this was the story with singer Tyrese, right? So we're going to go to parenting to marriage, right? And our decisions in marriage. So 4 years ago, Tyrese had gotten married. Surrounding his marriage got a bit crazy, where he received some backlash. Because, you know, Tyrese had been on his pages constantly talking about African queen this, Black woman that, African queen this, Black woman that, on a daily basis. And then out of the blue, out of nowhere, he was married, and he was married to a woman who was you would not know that she was a Black woman just by looking at her. Again, I'm not saying that she's not. That's not for me to judge. But what I am just reporting is that he received a lot of backlash. Is she? What is she? And he received a lot of backlash. But that's neither here nor there at this particular time. At this particular time, her name is Samantha Lee. And Samantha announced, Tyrese and Samantha announced amicably the end of last year that they were getting divorced after 4 years of marriage.
But give them privacy.
They are divorcing after 4 years of marriage. Samantha Lee later goes on to do a YouTube video recently stating why she does not recommend dating famous men.
So what did she say?
So Samantha went on to say, and this is the main thing that I got from the article. She says, self-made men, there's a lot of women that want these men. So at the end of the day, these men are accustomed to getting their way. Getting their way. Recently, there has been a surge of conversations in the African American community, and I've been a part of some of these conversations too, in regards to high value men. Okay?
Yes.
High value men, what a high value man is, characteristics of a high value man, and what it is you're supposed to aspire to in relationships with high value African American men.
Okay.
Can I do this enough?
I can't.
I
can't.
I want to state all of this eloquently so it does not look like I am. First and foremost, when wanting this high value man, whether he be an athlete, an entertainer, whatever it is, he is just a millionaire, this, that, or the other. My question is,
yes,
what are we thinking? Because women historically had the list of qualifications that they want to have in a man.
Okay.
What are we thinking? So upon dating or wanting this high value man, what is your framework? What is going through your mind when putting this together?
I think I'm gonna be honest with you.
Okay.
And again, this is based on, what I think the females that I've encountered or whatever, but pick me.
I'm gonna sit.
It's so many things. I think when we are picking mates, we actually pick them on what we're lacking for that moment
where this is healthy. I mean, can that not be goals and aspirations? Maybe you consider yourself to be a high value woman,
absolutely.
and so therefore you want someone who is on the same
status
level, financial level as you.
I mean, in layman's term, match my fly, that type of thing. Yeah.
Is there ever a situation where this is a healthy choice or a healthy decision?
B and J were two.
Okay.
Could anybody else have dated Beyonce, just a regular smuggler? Maybe not. I don't know. You understand what I'm saying? Same thing with Jay. Like, could he just get such and such off the block back in Marcy? I don't know. You know what I mean? Sometimes you do outgrow some things, and you decide to choose what you're used to, or based on, your level of, I don't, want the person taking my money, or I don't want whatever. That's some people. I will say that a lot of times females, not just to get away from that for a moment, because you said, is it possible? And I'm telling you, yes, it is. There are certain people that have the level of fame, and I'll use that as a quote because you know what fame is, but that have a level of fame, that have a status quo, certain level of money, that, and they want to pick someone that matches their fly. Now, a lot of times there are also females or males that pick based on some things. I didn't have a lot of money growing up, because I've heard this story a zillion times. I didn't have a lot of money growing up, so whomever I'm dating, they gotta have money. Why? Because you probably want them to fix whatever toy you didn't get as a kid. You know what I mean? That is a real thing. That's a real thing as well. So on the inadequacies in ourselves at the moment. There are a lot of times, it's funny because it's a lot of times when people be like, we was good when whatever, and then you got this money and now you changed. No, that's not always true. You know what I mean? I didn't have much before. So my level and my mentality and whatever, when I was with you, just wasn't there yet. I still was growing. I still aspired to do certain things. But now that I'm there, you just don't fit it anymore. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think those are a great deal of those scenarios. Now, she said also, let me just add, she did everything she could in her marriage. She did say that. She gave it a good try. She was a good wife. She was a good mother. She was a good friend. She said those terms. And she knows that walking away was something that she had not want to walk away.
Yeah.
Now, after, and which is amazing because I think he was with this woman when he was going through the divorce, or
it was just
custody battle.
It was just a custody battle. Yeah.
Custody battle. Well, he divorced the prior, but it was a custody battle with his first daughter's mother.
Yeah.
And I didn't like the way, honestly, I didn't like the way Tyrese acted on camera about that. It was like, bruh, handle your stuff off of social media.
In private.
Yeah, off of social media. And then it's just funny that 4 years later, can we deal with this privately? Well, you put all of your business from the other custody. I just want to see my kid. Y'all remember they made a meme about it. But I think that it's important to, when you're in a relationship, it is really important to grow together.
Mm-hmm.
To grow together. You stand the chance of losing the other when either one person grows and the other person does not, or you grow in separate directions.
Right.
You understand?
Right. But a lot of times, and I think what she's trying to say without saying it, is
right. Of course.
It's going to be a situation where I'm not growing with you because I feel like I'm already here or I've already done this. And then she makes the statement, they're accustomed to getting their way at all times, which means a lot of times people in this position, while worrying about if somebody is a gold digger, this, that, or the other, they are used to high class yes women.
Well, in every area of life, though, they're never told
every
no.
area of life. In every area of life.
Well, so we're talking about Tyrese, but I don't know if you remember Jill Scott divorce. Jill Scott's ex said the same exact what she says. Now, I'm not whatever. So Jill Scott, it's his husband said the same exact thing about her.
Yeah.
So is it, I don't know if it's male or female thing, but I think that I would say, the question would really be, does, the statue of your life, the status of your life and rich, famous, being used to being put first in everything, not saying no, going with everybody, going with whatever you think, Jill, whatever you think, Tyrese, whatever you think, Jay-Z, beyond whomever, and not being told no, and just living their life on their terms, on their rules, on their whatever. Is it hard for them to find a mate that will fit, and not lose their self being with them?
I think it's impossible. I think first and foremost, we need to really go over the definition of this high value partner in the first place.
Okay.
We're talking about finances.
Fame? Oh,
right.
Finances.
Are we only talking about fame? Are we only talking about finances? Are we only referring to material possessions when we speak on value? Is that the only thing that we are referring to? Are we talking about morals? Are we talking about character? Are we talking about high value as in what is it that my partner is pouring into me, or pouring
That's the key right there to me.
Pouring into the world, or pouring into, are they a good person at heart? Or what are they about? What are they giving back? Like, how are they talking? What are they like? So I think first and foremost, we need to change. I can't necessarily say change definitions, but I can say what is value? Because if we're strictly talking about finances and we're strictly talking about material possessions, my personal definition
means nothing.
That means absolutely nothing. That is not high value to me.
To me neither.
At all, because there's plenty of billionaire assholes. There's plenty of millionaire assholes. There's plenty of famous assholes. There's plenty of athletes and entertainers and actors that are assholes. That would not necessarily be right. So I feel like as we're having these, kitchen table, barbershop, beauty salon conversations, amongst our people and to the singles, to those getting married, whatever it is, we're having these conversations and people are getting advice and saying, oh, well, that's because you're not with a high valued person, or you don't date high value. What is that? What is that? I want clarity, and I need clarity on what that is. And
it's so funny you say this. I don't, and this is me. I don't look for, I work myself. You know what I mean? And I make my own money. And it's great if you make your own money. But you don't have to match my money or whatever like that. You don't have to, be with all these degrees and all this other stuff. That was never a requirement for me. Right. Long as we're a team and we work together and we can build and do whatever, that is my requirement for it all. I have never been like, let me be with him.
It's another responsibility.
I've never been that chick.
Right.
I've never been that way.
That's like the comedian. They'd be like, "Oh, he got money.
He got money."
That's funny.
I have never been that.
No.
I don't know. I just never looked for that because like you have it, it can be taken away. And you got to really know that you're in love with somebody for them, because regardless of what job they have,
what only can it be taken away, but you have to realize something. A lot of these people, what they do makes them.
Yes.
And because they're superficial enough to believe that what they do makes them who they are, a lot of times they feel like it puts them on a pedestal to treat you less than because you have not done the same thing. Is that a high value person? Is that somebody that you want to be around?
Yeah.
Is that somebody that's going to help you get to a different high vibrational level in life? Is that somebody who's going to preach and pump positivity into you if they feel like what they do has made them who they are? And there's so many people out there, male emotional spaces of, our women, minority women in particular. But when we make these choices, I'm going back to my original question here. When we make these choices, what are we thinking?
But wait. Can I just tell you something? And I love my sisters, right? But can I just tell you something? This choosing this in this way also is a handed down thing too, because I don't know if you remember mothers telling their daughters to marry the man in the service and marry the man, you know what I mean? The man with, certain status.
A pension.
Never told the female to actually be with someone you love. Remember, come on, The Notebook.
Well, can we be honest about the fact that most people don't really marry for love nowadays anyway? Maybe more so love nowadays, but prior to now, you married for status and you married to make sure that you would be taken care of. Your father passed that responsibility down from himself to make sure that you were still taken care of, because remember, in those days you couldn't work and take care of yourself.
What I'm trying to say was there are a lot of women that ended up with people that they did not love because the family said such and such has the ability to take care of you. That's where all of this is lost in translation. Okay. Because what happens is that is actually what happened back in the day. And we weren't really marrying for love. It was like, you love him, but he can't give you what he can. So you need to choose him. Meanwhile, mentally and emotionally and physically, whomever they are with, they were a great provider, but not a great lover. Do you understand that?
Mm-hmm.
So, so that part. So stop telling your daughters that.
You just have to be careful because
did she do that? Did she do that?
Did she do that? I mean, she said that they're accustomed to getting what they want. So for anybody who is just tuning in, what we are talking about right now, of course, what we're going to be talking about for the entire month of March being Women's History Month. And because we are minority women and, in this world, because we created, we come first. So what we're going to be talking about this month is the mental and emotional state of minority women. And right now, what we're discussing is Samantha Lee, now Tyrese's ex-wife, leaving him and making a video all of 24 hours ago stating she would never date someone famous again, athlete, actor, entertainer, any of that, because these type of men are accustomed to getting what it is that they want.
But her comment is almost troubling. It's almost troubling because did you seek him out because of his status? Like, where were you? And what position were you? You would never marry. So you didn't get what you want out of this deal. So you decided that you're just not going to date anybody of that status. That lasted. Yeah, no. Whatever's in you is in you, right? Regardless of the money, regardless of the status. Yes, they are used to the yes people. They are used to the finer side of life. They are used to nobody going against them and all that. Yes, people have those qualities. Yeah. But to me, whatever is in you is in you.
Yeah.
It's in you. And he isn't the spokesperson for but I'm questioning her. You understand? Because when you say the statement that you said when you said, going after these men. Well, what was your intent, sis? What was your intent?
That's my question. What are we after? What are we looking for? Age, or if you are in a relationship and you thinking about getting out, or if you're married and you're thinking about being divorced, or if you're in a relationship and you're not married yet, or if you are married and you're not happy in your marriage, my question is, at this particular phase in life, what is it that you are looking for? And maybe the answer to that is different for everybody. Maybe it is, I am only looking to be taken care of.
Okay.
For some, maybe they care nothing about love and relationship and connection. And all of it is, you just make sure you take care of me and you just make sure you provide for me. And
right. I'm not disagreeing with you. Yeah. I just don't like that because I don't want to endure I always like making my own. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to wait on anybody to give me money or for me to have to ask or anything like that. So yeah. I like to build me and make my own, and and then we go from there. I don't want to be in a relationship based on what you can give me or provide for me. It's great. It is extra though to me. It's not my end all be all. It is extra to me. Now, if I go and have a surgery, if I go and I get down, if I go and have an accident or something like that, to know you got my back is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. But for you to be the end all, nah. I can't see me being with you because of because there are people, like you said, that use that as a means to talk down to you or control you or whatever like that. And I just, no.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, some people get in relationships are married for provision. Mm-hmm. Some people will get into relationships for love. Mm-hmm. Some people will get into relationships for whatever, security, whatever. Right. Everybody does not get married just because they fell in love and they want to be married. That is not the end all be all for everybody's decision making process. And for our sisters who are going after these quote unquote high value men, again, when I ask the question, what are you thinking? I'm sure there's plenty of women that are thinking, well, I just want to be taken care of. I want security. It's like you said, I don't want to struggle anymore. I want protection. I want status because being linked to you gives me status too.
But that is the part. The linking part, and you give me status. And that is what the issue is. I always say that JC says the worst known drug made to man is fame, right? And that is what I'm saying is that did she go in looking for that? I'm Tyrese's wife, you know, for clout. And did you go in like that? Because it's just her verbiage and her what she's saying is like, I should have known this beforehand when I started. Like, what did you search for that, sis?
Right.
You know, gotta be real careful. Like, real careful.
Right. And you know, I feel like it goes back to our conversation that we've had at the beginning of the year that I'm finding is becoming our running theme throughout all of our topics. What was your intent and motivation behind making that particular decision?
Right.
And I feel like I feel like that is the question that we should be asking not only of others, but of ourselves and our decision making, you know, as we move forward. Of course, 2020 last year, COVID should have made a lot of people stop and think. If anything else, if you did not accomplish anything, if you did not go anywhere, even if you did not mend a relationship or create a relationship or heal or get them, made you stop and think.
Absolutely. At
the very least, stop and think. And at the beginning of this year, which I can't believe we are already in March. It feels like the year just started. And we are already 3 months in. Yeah. But at the very least, you know, we started out this year saying behind every decision that we are making this year and behind every single thing we're doing, what is the intention and motivation behind it? And you have to check your intentions. You have to get to the core upon why you are making certain decisions and
that's
go
the
beyond the surface.
That's the part. You got to find the why in everything you do.
Right.
Why? What's my driving force? What motivates me to make this decision? Why did I choose this? You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, you got to find the why in it all. You do.
Why? What is high value to you?
Yeah.
What does it do? What does it do for you? Why are you making that choice? Why do you make that decision? And again, if it is, well, I need this strictly for provision, then and that's what you need. I mean, that's on you. I'm not in a position to judge. I just want to know why, though. You know,
when you do your checklist, right? There are
whoa. Assuming that people do a checklist of themselves. But go ahead. Because
or the other person. When you're dating and you're seeking, you have a checklist, you have pros and cons, right? You have whatever. So someone can meet all of the needs that in your capacity in that moment, right? In the moment. Checklist. I wanted this, I want that, I want this. Now, because you grow out of wanting, maybe I don't really require certain things. You know what I mean? Now I require this. I've grown from that part. I don't need your words of affirmation anymore. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, I need affection.
Right.
Okay. We'll say that.
I need more understanding than anything at this point in life. You showing me this is just like, oh, okay, that's nice now. But at this point, I need you to just understand who I am more. But go ahead.
So you have a checklist and then you go into it and be like, oh, they check off the boxes and it's all whatever. But in the non-growth or the growth of the other person, there's a side of a checklist you didn't even put on your list. There are certain, and you didn't know you were going to need, right? You didn't know you were going to need in 5 years. You didn't know you were going to need in 10 years. And then you wake up one day and be like, they no longer have because I've grown and because you fit that or whatever. So when you seek a mate, you got to be really careful and cautious of the things that you're inadequate in.
Right.
Does not come into the play when you're choosing a mate. does not prevent you from choosing out of whatever inadequacy you have in you.
Yeah.
You understand? There's some things you need to work. Let me say it again. There's some things you need to work out inside yourself when you're choosing. Okay? Because then it'll take care of the 5 to 10 years when you've grown from all of those other things. Right now, I'm not this way and this, I'm not this, I'm not confident, I'm whatever. But 5 years down the line, I'm confident, I make more money, I have a degree, I have this, that, and the other. So I don't need whatever I needed then. Now I need comfort, stability, just whatever else. You got to be mindful and cautious and careful. I don't know what she needed then. I don't know. I wish we could interview her. I don't know what she needed, but her needs probably changed. I'm in the midst of that marriage.
I'm certain.
I believe that her needs probably changed.
And again, you get caught up in a whirlwind, when dating a celebrity and marrying one, and then you have the baby, and eventually all of those niceties and high life moments come to an end. It fades, and who are you guys with each other?
Yep.
Who are you guys with each other? Can you sit
behind closed doors without cameras? Without the red
who
carpet.
Are you to each other?
Yes.
Who are you to each other? Can you sit in 4 walls with each other and still be like, I'm good with this?
Hold up. Can you sit behind 4 walls and say, I really like you and I can spend time with you? I can sit in the house, I get real like I'm in the house and I'm doing stuff, but I like the fact that even though she's like, you don't pay attention to me, or it's okay, like I can go out the house, and I'm like, no, just your presence alone I'm good with. When I step away from work or I'm doing whatever, I can go and mess with you and do whatever because I enjoy your company. Because we're friends and I can enjoy, I can laugh, I can talk, I can share, I can do whatever with you. Do you like the person you with? Can you really be snowed in or in COVID with the person? That's
women, when you have this checklist of, I want this kind of man, I want that kind of man, and this man gotta have that, and he gotta have that, and then he gotta have it. So when you are making this list, just because he checks off all the boxes on your list, it does not mean you know him.
Absolutely.
It still does not mean you know.
When you say the comments, it's all relative, right?
Girl.
When you say it's all relative, it's all relative. You got to understand something too. You have these pros and cons lists or whatever, and you got to remember that we have an idea of these people in our head, right? We have a total,
It's not reality.
It's not reality. It's not. If you can love me and I'm messy when I get dressed, and I'm saying this on air, I don't know if she's listening, but if you can love me when I am like, stuff is all over the place and I get dressed and I can't find this shoe and this, that, and the other, and it's a whole tornado when I walk out the door.
You want to see my walk-in closet right now that you can't walk in?
And it's a whole tornado. When you tell me you love me, that means that there are certain things that you accept. Do you understand?
Sure.
And the love part. And if you can endure the change and you can endure just certain things, people fall short. That's another thing. People fall short in other areas, right? You gotta, is it 3.5 years really with men? Let's ask this question. Is that a time, enough time for him to come up and come around the corner? And
I mean, we both, as we both looking at, our shirts right now. When you come back, your shirt is
I'm sorry.
There.
Okay.
But looking at our shirts right now, we both listened to sermons this weekend about the awakening. You wake up in stages.
Yeah. Yeah.
You wake up in stages. Maybe his awakening took longer.
Yes.
And maybe she was just like, I'm out before he got to the phase that she could actually do.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. You know, do you prematurely sometimes leave and say bye? And he just was, you know, those areas that you had to check mark. It's like, you married him for a reason, right? You married him for a reason. And I don't know that 3.5 years later, what did you want from him? And that's important to know. Because some people...
But that goes back to your intentions and motivations. When you make a decision, what was your intent behind this decision? Because all have an intent behind why. Whether it's a good intent, a bad intent, whatever it may be. What motivated you to make this decision, and what was your intention? And then once you figure out what the intention was it a good intention? Did you mean it for good? Did you mean it for bad? Did it come from a selfish place?
Yes.
Did it come from a place where you were really thinking about the other person?
Yes.
Did it come from a place where you were really trying to grow either alone or together? What was it?
Yeah.
What was it?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? And it's just like, I don't know. I don't know. When talking to my sisters, ooh, child. Oh God.
What?
And again, and not because I have made all the best decisions in life. And
but some people don't have it. Listen, how about if she walked in? What if she walked in with no intent? She didn't even know no intent. No, like, I don't know what I want, or, you know, because some people do.
Yeah.
Some people don't realize what they want until they inside when she makes the claim that she makes.
Yeah.
I think there are a lot of things that she thought, you know, and some of us have been in those marriages before. We thought one thing.
Yeah.
And it turned out to be another thing.
Yeah.
You know? So
yeah.
I don't know. I just her statement just bothers me. It's like, girl, sis.
Well, either way, I want to take, you know, situations like this, and I want to discuss that throughout the month. We have 5 Tuesdays in the month of March, and it's Women's History Month. So there's a lot of topics that we will be able to speak on in regards to the mental and emotional state of us, you know, as women. And this is just one of them. You know, we talked about the whole motherhood thing before, and now we're talking about this particular aspect of dating and marriage with this whole high value conversation that now a lot of us are, like I said, having.
But did she talk to her tribe? Because that's another thing that people. No, because you know what? That's another thing that women don't do enough of. And I know you can't have the friend. One, you can't have yes friends, and two, you can't have friends that have the mentality that they have and just you taking bad advice from them. I'm talking about your sister tribe. I'm talking about people
have we gotten to a point where Black women recognize they need to have a tribe? Are we even there yet? Did we get there? Did we get there yet? Are we still in a place where you don't recognize that sister friends are necessary for your you and your partner is straight and you have all the answers. You don't need to run nothing by nobody. You know everything. You sort everything out in your head or between you and your partner. Because, you know, it's funny how, I think it's really funny how when people get into relationships and no, you should not be telling all of your relationship business to everybody.
I agree.
Not. There are things that are strictly between you and your partner. However, there are some things where sometimes you need to run something by a trusted,
you have to,
a cohort before even bringing them to your mate. And you know why? This isn't for your mate. It is for you. Because you could be completely wrong.
Absolutely.
You can be completely wrong. And how about you can be bringing a toxic trait, energy, environment, conversation, situation to a relationship unnecessarily. Sometimes, long story short, so-and-so ended up saying to me, da-da-da-da. I said, da-da-da-da. And then I'm about to say, I want to go back. And what I really want to say is, la-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta.
And you be like, sis, don't say that.
You better have somebody in your corner that be like, nah. First of all, you wrong for that. You started that in the first place, and now you trying to put that on them. You need to have that, and it's that sense of community that we talk about on this show often that we don't have anymore as a people. There's a million reasons why families and men who made more money to survive. It wasn't only that. It was that sense of community that we had. It was the example that we always go back to, that when Bill and Bob are in the garage talking and having their weekend. No, wait a minute now. Don't treat Diane like that. Diane a good woman now.
Diane's a good woman.
She a good woman now. You acting up. You know what I mean? But right now we so get out my business. I'm right about everything. I do everything like this. I do everything like this, and you don't need to know. We are so much like that it is to our demise.
Absolutely.
It is to our demise. So that brings me back to the question. And again, and everybody is not going to be us. It ain't going to be 7 of every group of Black women. Because we are an anomaly in our group of friends, and for a lot of people that's honestly just not realistic. But at least you need one good girlfriend that don't want your partner. B, head is on straight enough where you trust their life analyzation, outlook, judgment, and their life analyzation, outlook, and judgment of you.
Absolutely.
They know you enough to be like, I know your mouth.
Yeah.
I know that so-and-so only said this
because you said.
Because you probably did or said, and I know how you are. And so it's like, you even if it's not a full tribe, you need a sister girl partnership with somebody.
Absolutely.
Because they are essential to your survival, your development, your growth, your relationship. So, are we at a point yet where people recognize that?
No. Come close. No.
Okay.
I think it is important to, I love our friends. Of course, I love for them to come on the show at some point. I don't think we did a friendship. It's
been a while.
Friendship show in a long time. But when we get together, we just don't only talk about the minor things. We're adults now. We're grown. We did all the kid stuff. We did all the kid stuff together. We grew together. We did all of that together. But now that we are at a level of where we are at the level that we are with relationships and children growing up and empty nesting and things like that, I think that it's important to have somebody by your side that actually knows you, like the good and the bad of you, that knows you and has your best interest at heart when giving you advice about whom you're dating, about whom you are choose to be with. Because I love our friends, because we just be like, we just don't do the whole, we're not on it. We don't go off in a tangent. We listen. We be like, okay. And then what did you say? And then you can't be so invested, because if you know this person loved the other person, when you pick up the phone the next time, be like, girl, how you feel? He right here. You be like, okay. I'm gonna call you later.
Yep.
It just is that. I think that it's just important to do that, to have those type of great relationships.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Advice that is not coming from a place of jealousy, envy, is not coming from a place of they just don't want you with anyone. those that want to suck your happiness is very important. We'll say, and I'll be transparent. I know that some of the decisions that I'll make, and I have to be transparent. Some of the decisions I made definitely came from a place of where was your friends, right? Because I know that if I had said to y'all, and this is my younger years, this is not speaking for now, but my younger years, had I had ran by half of my choices by my friends, I would have not made them choices.
Right.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of choices. If I would have been like, girl, y'all would have been like, absolutely not. You know,
not doing that.
Absolutely not.
Look, we not doing that.
We not doing this.
Right. We not doing this.
But it's very important to do that. I just want us as a woman to be very cautious about what we choose to put in our life. Because a lot of times we are the backbone to anything in any relationship, right? In family, in whatever. And we just need to be really cautious about what we take on, what we try to fix, because we're fixers. Right. We feel like we pour love into anything. He needs me because he's broken, you know. We do a lot of that. I want to see the dreams that they have. I feel like I can help them accomplish. You know, I just want us to be cautious when we're choosing.
Yeah, what we're choosing to take on.
You know, that's important to me.
Yeah.
That's really important because, like I said, we are made to be the backbone. We're made to be the fixer. We're made to pour love into any dry thing, right? We are the water to any dry thing, you know? So it's important that we be careful about who we let in that's thirsty when we're giving the water.
Okay, now. All right, now.
Okay.
Uh-huh. I hear you, sis. I mean, we know where we're going next, but we have been all across the board. Yes. But excuse me, all of it is important, and
absolutely
all of it is important because we are trying to make sure that we discuss all aspects of mental and emotional states of us as women. Of us as women, of us as in our decision making. And if you don't go over the choices that we have made historically, there is no growth.
Right.
There is no development for the future. There's no you're not going to get anywhere. You're not at the end of the day, all of these discussions this month literally is level up.
That's it.
Level up.
That's it.
But wherever
in every aspect.
In every
emotionally, yes, in every aspect, spiritually, emotionally, health wise, everything. Level up in every single area. I agree. I think that's the best way to put it. We do need to start leveling up in every area.
Yeah.
You know, I love my sisters, but we do a lot of
foolery.
We do a lot of fraggle, you know,
foolery,
BS,
foolery.
We do
straight up and down foolery. And some of it, yes, some of it I understand. Some of it I don't understand. Definitely want to get to a point where we are delving into what are our issues. And like I said, I do want to have the show where we're talking about this whole bitter baby mama situation. I do want to have the show where we are discussing in detail chasing the athletes and the rappers for whatever your reasons are. I do want to have the show where we're talking about what's behind hating on other women who are doing the same things as you, or doing something different than you. I do want to have the show discussing when one sister doesn't feel adequate enough, so they need to make up things, or they need to sugarcoat a lot of things that they got going on in this social media world. I do want to have this show because, again, all of that is a decision.
Absolutely.
All of those things are decisions.
Use the word intent because that's been my checks and balance with myself. It has always been, why did you give this money? Make sure you didn't give this money to be recognized. Make sure you were not there for somebody, for them to be able to say that you're there for them, or, you feel like you are doing whatever, but would you want the pat on the back for it? Or, if you don't get the pat on the back for it, you're absolutely bent out of shape. When you do things honestly, and that has always been me. I always say, people are like, yeah, but if I don't do it for the people.
Right.
And I don't do it because somebody, you know what I'm saying? I want them to be able to say they owe me. It's great. It's great. And it feels good for somebody to be like, you've been there for me. That's great, great, great. But that's just my makeup and who I am. So I wouldn't have it any other way. I just don't ever want to.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
I just don't ever want to do something with bad intentions, because to me, anything with bad intentions.
Right. Why? Oh, and that's the, but my thing is, there's so much I want to say.
Go ahead. Say it.
There's so much I want to say, because even when when something is supposed to be a good thing, a lot of times you need to check, well, why do you want to do it though?
Absolutely.
What's your reasoning behind it though? What's your purpose behind it though? How do you really feel about it behind closed doors though? And why? Why are you doing that though?
And not
it's
just
a deeper level. It's a deeper level.
Look, not just the celebrity thing or anything, but just take regular smuggler people. I have, and they'll get close to this person with wrong intentions. Wrong intentions meaning no. I've seen this happen before, where people literally connect themselves. Oh, hey girl, how you doing? And it literally is not a genuine friendship. It is not I want a sisterhood type thing. It literally is either the clout chasing thing, like the young people say. I want them to show me what they do, or be on the bandwagon at the time of the person, and then get recognized at the same time. Do you understand? There are a lot of females in relationships that are built on false pretenses. Let's stop that. Let's stop that. Really. Really. It's not good.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and agree with you with that.
And you don't really find that out until you fall out with them.
Right.
You don't really find out that they really never liked you.
You don't find out a lot of stuff until you fall out with people. And you like finding out how somebody really thinks about you is one of the most clearest and hurtful moments of reckoning that you can have. Because while you may be thinking about this like somebody, to find out that they feel like this about you and have felt like that about you the entire relationship out of my way for, this is the person that I protect. This is the person I would and have done anything for and with. This is the person I confided in. This is the person I helped with their stuff. This is the person, and you think or you think I would, or you think I did, or you think
Absolutely.
That is one of the most clearest and hurtful moments of reckoning.
Absolutely.
That can't be ignored. That cannot be ignored.
Mm-hmm.
And if there is a relationship after that moment of reckoning,
mm-hmm.
it will forever be shifted. It will forever be shifted. Forever.
You're right. You're right. You're right. You're absolutely right.
That's something. Right. That is something. Like I said, my goal is to have these types of conversations for the entire month of March and to get to the bottom of a lot of things that we see, the stuff on social media, the stuff in our community, the stuff that we do talk about in barbershops and hair salons, the stuff we are now talking about on our phone, via text message, whatever, with our friends, those kitchen table conversations that we have with a lot of people, those pillow talk conversations that you have with your partner.
Mm-hmm.
These are the conversations that I want to
delve into.
That I want to delve into for the month of March, pertaining to women and women of color. Because there's a lot of we have to do if we are even going to begin to have a conversation about healing, how to heal and how to move forward. Because there's a lot that is ingrained in us. There is a lot that we are programmed with. A lot of it is programming. And there's so much that we need to relearn.
Absolutely.
So much we need to unlearn, and so much that we need to do differently.
The world has changed. The world has changed. And with the change, some of it has made, I think, people overall, a lot of people selfish. You know what I mean? It's changed in that aspect. It's also, when they always say, I gotta eat, I gotta eat. And it's like, yeah, you gotta eat, but they don't realize that, the blessing is when you actually are eating with someone, or you allow the other person to eat, or you go back and get the other person so they can eat as well. Those are the things that I think we've just forgotten. I swear, when I see a sister, and I do this all the time, and it's not because of my sexual preference or anything, but I just love telling women, like, you're beautiful, those shoes are nice, or how's your day, or whatever, just to say something that compliments. It's such a blessing. It's such a blessing to do. And I'm always taken back when somebody finds it not robbery to actually compliment me on something about me. I always am like, hey, that was great. You know what I mean? Like, that was great. Mm-hmm. There are some people that kind of would have kept it to themselves, but they just told me that, I'm beautiful, or they just told me I like your shoes, or wow, you look, nice today, or just something, anything. Right. And not just that, how about not even the compliments, but the people that's actually fixing my crown without a whole bunch of people knowing. I love that too. Mm-hmm. I love that too. When you got to check me, or you be like, girl, put your something, something is on you on the back of you, or just anything, just fixing me or doing whatever. I am always super excited when queens actually compliment
like that. Behave like this. When queens behave like queens,
like that,
it's funny, social media have you believe in a whole. Oh God, there's so much I want to say that I'm not going to, but social media will have you believing so many that it's good to be so many different kinds of ways, not recognizing that a lot of that is just a lot of toxic, jealous, low vibrational behavior.
Right.
And it's like, and it's not okay. It's not okay to be that way. It's not okay to be certain ways, but social media will have you thinking, oh, well, this is the norm. So, this is just what I should do. But I don't know, girl. I don't know. we're going to get into it. We got a month of Tuesdays left.
A lot of unpacking to do.
A lot of unpacking to do, a lot of unfolding to do for the next 4 weeks. So we are definitely going to get into it on each and every show. We are going to the hope is that is going to be coming up soon, but we're going to have details for you. But in the meantime,
but I want us to delve into depression. I want us to delve into like real anxiety that that plagues us. I want to, I really, for the women, I really want to delve in and get to a place where we understand after these 4 or 5 weeks that we really, really understand the work that we have to do with each other. You know what I mean? And things that still plague us.
Operative word with.
Yes, that's why I said that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I'm with it. So we got a lot coming up. March is going to be heavy. March is
it ain't gonna feel good.
March is strictly vegetables.
Look what they say. No, what they say. It's tight, but it's right.
Listen. It's strictly vegetables. We'll get to some dessert back in April again.
Absolutely.
But March, you and I this week, by the grace of God, we are still here as we are every week. I am exhausted tonight, so I'm getting off of here, and my plan is to take it all the way down.
Okay.
But for everybody who tuned in, for everybody who watched, for everybody who listened, we love you guys as we always do. And we thank you for tuning in with us each and every week. It is a blessing to be able to do this, whether we was in the studio for all those years or right here virtually. I hope to be back in studio one day again soon, but yeah, it is truly been a blessing to be able to do this. We are approaching the next week will be the anniversary of everybody coming home from COVID, because it was the 13th. So that is approaching soon, where most people have been home or unfortunately out of work for a year. And so I don't take this time to be in this chair right now, even though it's not in the studio. We are still live. So we love you guys for watching. We love you guys for listening. And by God's grace and mercy, we will be here next week. Same place, discussing this particular topic and unpacking and just getting to the bottom of things. So on that note, I'm going to bed. I don't know about you. Oh, shoot. I'm dropping stuff. Love you. Jeff, take us away.